some of the issues that they have in areas of transparencies, of fees, of procedures, and of timelines. And also at PEBEC, some of the important expectations from us is to deepen sectoral reforms, such that as a businessman, if you are in the agri sector, if you are working within the telecommunication sector, if you are working perhaps maybe within the mining sector, we want to ensure that MDAs within the various sectors and subsectors of the country are working in line without overlapping regulations. Much of the time, if you look at maybe, for instance, if you look at the area of food and drugs, in the areas of food and drugs, for people who are into exportation or importation of food and drugs in Nigeria, you have to deal with NAFDAC. You deal with SON, right? Maybe in some context, you deal with NESRA. Sometimes you deal with FCCPC. So the question is, in an attempt to deepen our reforms, we want to ensure that there's alignment between the various MDAs in various sectors, such that you don't go to NAFDAC and get one thing and you require the same thing to be gotten from SCCPC or from SON or from, NESRA. So we want investors to have some level of clarity. Sometimes, most of the time, you might have heard the business community say something around, I don't know, these people are charging me for the same thing but in a different name, right? Somebody can say it is service charge. Another person will say it is operational charge. Then another person will say it's operational permit charge. You see, different MDAs coming with different fees that likely might be addressing the same issue. So part of our expectation as PEBEC is to ensure that we look at those various sectors and bring in reforms that could improve service delivery in this sector. And how can we get these feedbacks? We already have a platform called the reportgov.ng, such that anyone in this room, in the business community, that needs to use services in, some of these MDAs, like Nigerian Customs, maybe, for instance, according to the Business Facilitation Act of 2023, the National Single Window Platform, at this point in time, which is still expected maybe in the first quarter of 2026, would enable people be able to import, clear, export faster than it used to be now, right? Such that you don't have to spend so much time going to various agencies to submit different documents, but you can have one platform to load all your documents and ensure that your import and export processes are faster. Now, the question is, what if there's a bureaucracy in place that is deliberately delaying such efficiency? How do you give feedback to the government from those MDAs? That is why reportgov.ng has been, in place by PEBEC to say, if you go to CAC, if you go to FIRS, if you go to NAQS or Nigerian Custom, to get any service, and those services were not given as it was stated in their service level agreement to the general public, you can report them to us. We will escalate to the agency and get to the root of the matter, such that you as an investor, as an existing investor, who will be talking to maybe some potential investor, would have so much more confidence in our GRM system. This is what we do as PEBEC. These are our expectations. And today we are bringing you before, business-facing MDAs that you can engage with, that you can ask certain questions around transparency. You can ask certain questions around, fees and procedures. You can ask certain questions around some incentives that might be up there in the various ministries that you are not aware about. Yes, sir. Sector. Yes, no problem, sir. No problem, sir. All right, sir. So the Honorable Commissioner here wants to provide some feedback on this issue. So please kindly let's listen to the Honorable Commissioner of Finance. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bello. Well, incidentally, I'm Bello too. There's another Bello. Well, my name is Bello Kagara, the Commissioner of Finance. I have just learned that the representative of the governor is coming, is on his way. But quickly, I would just like to chip in a question to the private practitioners, the business partners that we have. We've learned a lot from the presentation from PBEC, the representatives from the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council. But whenever we talk of business environment, there are some intervening relationship between the government and the business partners. The role of the government, critically speaking, or simply put, is to provide the enabling environment for business to thrive within the state. Am I right? Now, if that relationship is to exist or is being on course, one question that I would like to put is, what role, through what strategies, should the private business partners engage the government? In which areas, and then through which strategies? This is a question that I'm asking you to now provide in order to make sure that we're operating at par. Can anyone respond to my questions? In which areas, which critical areas should the business partners engage the government? And then through which strategies? Thank you. Okay, Salili? Okay. Where is the mic?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Gentlemen, high table, and my colleagues, my brothers and sisters here present, Assalamu alaikum. Your question you made mention is, if I can vividly recall, that you said, in which way can the government,
First,
or which area in particular, specific areas you mentioned, yes, that the government will partner? Yeah. Okay. Enable environment, there are 2 or 3 issues that we think the government can come in. One, to facilitate the contact of the market.
Development of the market content.
Market content. One. Second, ensure that you assist the business partner financially and administratively, because there are certain things that he will look for. Let me give you a simple example of an association that I chaired. I chaired hibiscus subderiva flower, Roselle flower, chairman of Katsina State chapter. There are 3 cardinal issues. One, we are farmers and we are processors and we are marketers. But the disheartening thing in this business is those that buy this commodity are always coming from Kano. They are vendors, they have agents. We produce it here in Katsina, the best quality in Katsina here. But they will come and take it to Europe and earn hard currency. No single person in Katsina State here carry a simple container of 20 footer to anywhere in the world. We have the, what do you call it, the port authority, the Funtua Drive port is just there. But the procedure, the bureaucratic bottleneck towards making a formal certification of the goods to Europe, that's why I want to ask this your question. Unfortunately, it has come in. To get that document is impossible, because those who are in the middlemen are always blocking us. I am part and parcel of. I've met with so many special people at the top. Quarantine Director General, I spoke with him severally. I, in fact, challenged him in Kano about Katsina here.
Okay, I think let's go straight forward.
So let
You've
me,
mentioned two critical areas, but
criteria
let's hear
one,
other people.
we are talking of, let me not digress.
Okay.
Criteria one is the government should sit down. I mean, should invite those that are interested in any sector. If it's agriculture, if it's whatever, business that they are doing. Okay, let them discuss with those people. Select number, 10 to 15 people for a test, for an example. Give them whatever they want. Give them the facilitation, give them the land if they are looking for the land. See to it that they execute the project adequately. This is the only way a government can help an individual person who is ready and is interested in doing business.
Thank you very much, Salih. Can we have a temper? Yeah, but let me remind you that you see, engagement should be vertical and horizontal. It should be vertical through the You see, I'm really interested in all this type of understanding, so that when we leave here, we're sure that we've charted a course for a thriving business engagement between the government and the organized private sectors, and then the other SMEs and even other businesses that are being operated at grassroots level. We're not here for a joke. I'm sure by the time the governor speaks, you will hear the various progress the government has recorded as far as providing enabling environment for business to thrive in the East. So like I said, my interest is, what do we do now to encourage the flourishing, the growth, the development of industries and other private engagement from the organized private sectors, and then the local businesses that exist within society. That's my interest, honestly. Because it's only through that, Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. You are upon here, sir. Dalla, me hakuri mutanen da suke gefe-gefe. Dalla za mu cika sauran nan wurin da ya rage. Dalla mu taso mu cika sauran wurin. Me hakuri da Allah. Akwai sauran wuri a nan waɗanda suke jina daga waje da Allah za su shigo mu zazzauna don mu tarbi bakon mu sannan mu ci gaba da abin da muke. Mun gode sosai. Dalla a ba mu haɗin kai. Insha Allah ba za mu daɗe ba, za mu tashi saboda mun daɗe a nan tun safe har zuwa yanzu. Honorable Tsanni, you're welcome.
Fulani, muna gaida sarkin Fulani, saraki, da muti gomo na sarkin Fulani, saraki, sarkin Fulani na tobe, saraki, gatan Fulani da habe, saraki, Allah gwani kai ya kebe, saraki, ka yaba wa sarkin Fulani, ka juri yan bani bani, saraki, ga mai ilimi mai tunani. Sai jobe sarkin Fulani da mahabi har kula wannan mu ne jobe wuce na gwamna rika jobe wanda ya ki ka ya tabi macizai suna gaban zalbi sun zo da kambun su kakarbi dattijai sun ganka sun rabi an gaida mataimakin gwamna.
All right, thank you. That's all. May we rise officially for a sign of national anthem, please, after count of 3, 2, 1.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall
right, let's put our hands together for our national anthem. A new one that reissued once more. His Excellency, the Katsina State Deputy Governor, Honorable Alhaji Faruk Lawan Jobe, HCIB, CCRFA, the Amir Hajj Vedia 2025, Sarkim Plan and Jobe the 10th, also Chairman Economic Council of Katsina State, the Honorable Commissioner of Finance Alhaji Bello Muhammad Kaka, Honorable Commissioner of Commerce, Industry and Tourism Honorable Ibrahim, the Director General KIPA Alhaji Ibrahim Tukur Jikamshi, Khalil Nur Khalil, the State Economic Advisor, our official partners from FABIC, GM Kufda, representative from Kaseda, all permanent secretaries here present, the representative of Emir of Katsina State, Alhaji Garba Usman Dang Amar in Katsina. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today being Thursday, 3rd July 2025. Today's event proudly supported by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, FABIC, the Debt Management Office, and the Ministry of Finance, the Nigeria's Governors Forum, and our partners from the World Bank. It is a crucial step in fostering reforms that make it easier to do business across our state. This is more than a meeting. It is a platform for a collaboration, a feedback, and actions. Together, we will explore some policies, discuss challenges, and co-create solutions that will enable stronger and more sustainable economic growth. Please join me in welcoming the DG KIPA Alhaji Ibrahim Tukur Jikamshi for a warm welcome address. Put your hands together for the Director General of Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Malam Dukorada, PhD, CON, ably represented by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Malam Faruk Lawan, HCIB, who is also the Chairman of the Ease of Doing Business, whose the program that we are doing today is his baby, as well as the Chairman of the MSME Council. So we have the right person that is here. Of course, we all report to him as the Chairman of the Council. Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Alhaji Bello Arun Kagara, Honorable Commissioner of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, Honorable Yusuf Rabiu Jurdede, my friend, the Economic Advisor, Khalil Nur Khalil, Malam Adewale, the representative of the Director General, Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, and your colleagues that are here, members of the organized private sectors that are here since morning with us, having long discussions, my colleagues, the reform champions of various MDAs and ministries, the representative of His Royal Highness, the Emir of Katsina, my brother, sorry for skipping you much earlier, Alhaji Umar Amar Katsina, members of the press, security officers that are here, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Distinguished participants, invited guests, and other reform champions, I will have said, today's engagement, Your Excellency, is marking yet another milestone in our collective journey towards building a more responsive, transparent, resilient, and business-friendly public sector in Katsina State. We are looking at the public sector that truly serve as enabler to the growth and development of not only the private sector, but the entire citizen of the state. Ladies and gentlemen, Katsina State, under the visionary leadership of His Excellency Malam Tukur Maradda, PhD CON, have embraced the SEBA reform program, not just as a compliance requirement, but as a strategic instrument for the state transformation agenda as encapsulated in the Build Your Future agenda of this present administration. Your Excellency, under your able leadership, the Deputy Governor, the EODB Council, that is the Ease of Doing Business Council that we are having this program under its umbrella, has taken deliberate steps to mainstreaming reforms into the fabrics of our institutions by establishing a high-level reform implementation working committee comprising the MDAs and private sector representatives working together to deliver results across all the reforms so that we can have a better and good outcomes. So we are proud to report that Katsina State has successfully scored all the points under the prior results category of the SEBA reforms agenda since 2022. Furthermore, the implementation of the Year 1 and Year 2 reforms program of SEBA and EODV has been concluded with all the required documentation and evidences submitted. The independent verification by the World Bank for 2023, Your Excellency, has been completed, and we are eagerly waiting the final outcome of the 2022 cycle. We have similarly concluded all activities and now awaiting validation by the independent verification agent of the World Bank for the 2024. But we are expecting the guys from the payback, Malabola, we're asking for the dollars to come soon. Your Excellency, as you are aware, beyond the SEBA indicators, Katsina State has pursued an ambitious home growth reforms agenda anchor on transparency, technology, and private sector leadership. Your Excellency, allow me to highlight some of these reforms initiatives that we have taken. They are very numerous, but we just mention a few of them. We have simplified and digitized the issuance of COO and construction permits through our Geographic Information Service, CAGIS. We have introduced service level agreements, consolidated tax demands through a unified notice system, and set up grievances redress mechanism in major services that our MDAs deliver, especially those that deliver business service, is for the advantage of the private sector that are here, and that's what we have been discussing, for them to take advantage of those reforms. We transition parts of our infrastructure from grid dependency to clean solar energy, deploying over 63 kilometers of solar-powered street lights and electrifying hospitals, ICT centers, schools, and critical government offices. And all this is geared towards delivering service to the public. To encourage broadband penetration and digital infrastructure, we have all rights of way charges for fiber optics deployment, bringing us well ahead of global benchmarks. Our MSMEs now enjoy interest-free loans and access to simplify business support schemes, and to this end, we have exempted qualifying businesses from selected fees and levies to reduce startups' cost. Your Excellency, before your arrival this afternoon, the Director of Operation has taken over 2 hours discussing with our private sector on the services of Katsina State Enterprise Development Agency. And I have witnessed the robust discussions and interactions, question and answers that generated a lot of interest. And I know it's a job well done. And I'm sure most of them have benefited and all will now key in to benefit such services, because finance is part of the critical resources that enterprises need to key in. And it is here in Katsina, not any other state that is doing that as of now. Your Excellency, as you are aware also, we continue to prioritize transparency and public feedback, with all MDAs now publishing service timelines and costs, while also establishing help desks and active digital engagements channels across this MDA, especially our areas, Ministry of Commerce, Water Board, URPB, Bureau for Public Enterprises, and host of others. Our land policy is now guided by the three-layer framework for responsible and inclusive land-based investment, particularly in agriculture and industrial development. Your Excellency, to this end, you are also the chairman of the three-layer committee to give it a higher level touch, should in case resettlement and other things may arise, as we are engaging with either public sector development or an investor is coming together. And though through KIPA, Your Excellency will continue to lead interagency coordination, strategic investor engagement, and public-private partnership in key sectors such as agriculture, ICT, power, hospitality, and solid minerals. These, I know, Your Excellency, as you may be aware that we have already circulated all the reforms that we have undertaken with the relevant links to all the participants that are here so that they can take advantage. These reforms, ladies and gentlemen, have not only improved the ease of doing business, they have also restored investor confidence, energized local enterprises, and placed Katsina family on the map as one of the Nigerian most reform-minded subnational economies. Currently, Katsina is number 5 on the ease of doing business ranking. And we are already looking at that number that looks standing 1. Ladies and gentlemen, today's engagement is not only a capacity building session, it is a platform for shared learning, collaborations, and accountability. As reform champions, that's my colleagues, are not only custodians of change, you are a catalyst to the private sector, and we have done a lot of learning process this morning. Private sector is also watching. The people are waiting. The results must speak. So we must act to deliver results to the citizens of Katsina State. On this note, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I once again welcome you all to the engagement, and we have urged you to make the most use of this event, build lasting partnerships and collaboration, and reaffirm our shared commitment to reform and economic inclusion. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, especially my colleagues that have been working tirelessly, let me say thank you, and I wish you all the profitable deliberation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you. That has been the DG KIPA, Alhaji Ibrahim Tukur Jikamshi. This is more than an welcome address. It is an open remarks indeed. But before moving to take some goodwill messages, at this point, I would like to let us please take a moment to watch a short video message from the Princess Zara Mustafa Audu, the Director General of PEBEC, one of the leading voices on stakeholder engagement and business reform in Nigeria. MPS Media, if you are ready, a 3-minute video.
State Action on Business Enabling Reforms, SABRE. The State Action on Business Enabling Reforms, SABRE, is a $750 million performance-based program jointly implemented by the federal ministry.
Delighted to welcome you to the Presidential Enabling. Your Excellencies, distinguished cabinet members, esteemed partners, captains of industries, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome you to the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council PEBEC's nationwide tour, an important milestone in our ongoing commitment to improving Nigeria's business environment across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. This tour is a central pillar of the State Action for Business Environment Reform SABRE program, a transformative initiative co-designed with the World Bank to support and incentivize state-level reforms. The SABRE program aligns subnational effort with our national vision for ease of doing business in Nigeria, making Nigeria easier, transparent, and more profitable for businesses to thrive. As we journey across the country, our technical workshops aim to build capacity amongst public sector stakeholders, ensuring that reforms are not only designed but also implemented effectively at the state level. Our private sector engagements, equally important, provide a platform to listen to the voices of Nigerian businesses and the true drivers of our economic growth, job creation, and innovation. The nationwide tour reflects PEBEC's enduring belief that reform is not a federal effort alone. States are the engine of local economic development, and their policies, infrastructure, and service delivery directly impacts the ease of doing business in every community. We're here to foster deeper collaboration, build trust, shape practical solutions that will unlock the full potential of every state in Nigeria. I thank our partners, including the World Bank, the Nigerian Governors Forum, the Federal Ministry of Finance, the Debt Management Office, and other state government agencies and the private sector for your unwavering commitment to helping us achieve this goal. Together, let's build a business environment that works for local businesses, entrepreneurs, multinationals, and foreign direct investors. A future full of prosperity for all Nigerians. Thank you all very much, and I look forward to the progress this engagement will inspire across our great nation, Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Alright, thank you. That has been a wonderful opening remark again on behalf of the FEBEC by the Princess Zara Mustafa Audu, Director General of FEBEC. Moving on bit by bit to take goodwill messages, I would like to first start with the Honorable Commissioner of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, in person of Honorable Yusuf Rabiu Jirede, to deliver his address. Thank you for being here with us. Please join me in welcoming him with our hands.
The Executive Governor, Katsina State, Malam Duko Umar Radda, ably represented by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Malam Faruk Lawal Jobe. Your Excellency, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me start by, first of all, appreciating His Excellency the Governor of Katsina State for approving to host this wonderful occasion, and to also appreciate the enabling Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, for choosing Katsina State as one of the stops on this nationwide subnational town hall tower. Your presence here today is a testament to the federal government's firm commitment to creating a sustainable business environment that works for everyone, especially our hardworking small and medium-scale enterprises. As a government of the state, we recognize that no economy can thrive without the active participation of the private sector. That is why His Excellency the Governor Malam Duko Umar Radda has placed ease of doing business at the heart of our economic agenda. Through ongoing reforms and collaborations, we are working hard to reduce bottlenecks, improve transparency, and build a system that supports innovation. this engagement is not just a celebration or a party. It's a platform for listening, learning, and working together. The private sector's voices we hear today will shape how we move forward. Your experiences, your concerns, and your ideas matter. They help us see where we are. They help us see the gaps and how we can close them together. We are also proud to see that Katsina State is actively implementing the SABER framework. And we are making steady progress in areas such as investment promotion, publication of official fees and procedures, trade facilitation, and dispute resolution. But we know there is still more work to be done. And inshallah, we are committed to doing it. As we go through today's sessions, I encourage all of us to speak frankly, listen deeply, and go home with a stronger sense of shared purpose. On behalf of the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, I want to thank His Excellency, the Governor, for hosting this wonderful event. And I also want to thank the Deputy Governor for chairing rightly this council here in Katsina State, and to also thank PEWIC for choosing Katsina State as a host. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That has been another affirmation by the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Tourism. Moving on is to take a vote of thanks before refreshing our spirit with a traditional entertainment, the troops here from History and Kilchibiru. Before then, it is high time and very crucial, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we draw the curtain on today's proceedings, it is my singular honor to invite a key pillar in our state economic development, a one who has played an instrumental role in financial reforms and policy implementation. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Finance, Alhaji Bello Muhammad Kagara, for the Barber thanks. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. Put your hands together for our Honorable Commissioner, please.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. His Excellency, the amiable, hardworking, God-fearing, and people-oriented Governor of Katsina State, person of Dr. Malam Omar Tukur, ably represented here by another amiable, supportive, and loyal, the most loyal, in fact, the most loyal Deputy Governor in Katsina State, in person of Alhaji Lawal Omar Jobe. The Honorable Commissioners here present, the Royal Father here present, the head of the team from PBEC, that is the Presidential Enabling Business Environment, in person of Dr. Bello Adewale and his team, all business partners here present, permanent secretaries and directors from MDAs here present, other entrepreneurs of SMEs here present, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Mine is to sincerely acknowledge the effort, the goodwill, and the persevering effort of His Excellency Dr. Tukur in believing in the power of business to transform the socio-economic lives of the citizens of the state. We all here are testimonies of people who really saw and are still seeing and will continue to see the footprint of His Excellency in driving business enterprises in the state. So, Your Excellency, I would like to convey our appreciation as a team to His Excellency in that regard. I also want to underscore the role His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, has played in steering the affairs of Sabah in Katsina State through constant guidance, input, support to the team technically. At a point, Your Excellency, I envy your technical competencies, not only in activities of this nature, but in all parameters and outing that you've been engaged in. We thank you very, very much, Your Excellency. Similarly, the role the PBEC has played in moving and steering our activities as a state in business, especially under this platform, I think it's something that we need to acknowledge and then clap for them, please. Because we've learned a lot through their engagement, and they have helped us a lot in the delivery of all the DLS in the state. I'm sure by the time HE speaks, you will have all the success stories that we have in the state as far as business is concerned in the state. So honestly, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we have to beat our chest to say that we really performed, or we're performing. Similarly, I want to acknowledge and then appreciate the effort of all our partners, the organized private sector, people at the horizontal level in the state, the business entrepreneurs, the SMEs, practitioners who have been doing all within their limit to see that business thrives in Katsina State. So honestly, Your Excellency, we are really highly grateful and thankful in that regard. Before you came here, Your Excellency, I was taking, or rather putting a question to the organized private sector and the business entrepreneurs here, because of my belief, and indeed the belief of all people, that the organized private sector and the SMCs and even local market women are the key drivers of business across all societies in the world, not only in Katsina State or in Nigeria. Having believed in that, Your Excellency, I was thinking of putting a question to them as to what areas do they think the government can assist in pursuing a very solid, concrete, sustainably implementable activities to garner their support in supporting the state to now improve its socio-economic activities. And then not only that, what strategies can we put in place through their engagement at vertical and horizontal level to see that we thrive as a state? I'm sure, Your Excellency, I would like to challenge them here present after the end of this meeting, this engagement, to now put up their recommendations on the areas and strategies and forward to you, being the chairman of the council, so that by the time we leave here, we're sure of the continuous engagement of the state and the key actors to now move the state. I would really like to say that we're highly grateful, and we thank you very much for coming, and we pray that whatever we discuss here will play its role positively in transforming business activities with the state. I thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you. That has been the vote of thanks by the Honorable Commissioner of Finance, Alhaji Bello Muhammad Kagara. Please, let's appreciate him once more. Let's appreciate the Honorable Commissioner of Finance, Alhaji Bello Muhammad Kagara. Before taking it to the crux of the event, which is the official declaration by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, it is a high time for us to refresh our spirit with the dance troupe of History and Culture Bureau to take the care of the center stage. So we need this space, please, the cameraman. Thank you. Da Allah ma haɗa hannu ta mai yan ƙoro sannan mana. Sun sanya mu nishaɗi mai yawa. Alhaji Sa'idu ka yi haƙuri, muna wani aiki daban. Muna nan tun ƙarfe 10. Mun gode. Mun gode muku kuma da gudunmuwar da kuka bada. Idan mun shirya za mu ci gaba da abin da muke yi. Now to the crux of the event, which is the official declaration of today's workshop. It is my uncommon honor and privilege to invite a highly respected leader, a leader of all time, a steadfast supporter of development initiative and a key driver of progress here in Katsina State, our dear State Amir Alhaji by the year 2025, the Chairman State of Economic Council, the Sarkim Pulanin Jobi, the TANS, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Honorable Alhaji Farooq Lawan Jobi, head CIB, CCIRFA, to deliver a keynote address and declare the workshop open. Thank you, sir.
The Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Commerce, the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Finance, the Honorable Commissioner, Higher Education, Technical and Vocational Education, the Economic Advisor, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Director General, Katsina State Investment and Promotion Agency, our host, and then the team lead and other members of the powerful team from PEBEC, representative of the various federal and state agencies that are here, the representative of His Royal Highness, the Emir of Katsina, members of the business community and entrepreneurs, members of the press, security agencies, Assalamu alaikum. Let me first of all start by apologizing for being here lately. This is due to a number of reasons beyond our control. Thank you. So it is my great pleasure to be with you today for this important stakeholder engagement and capacity building program organized by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC. I want to use this opportunity to warmly welcome all our guests and other critical stakeholders to this meeting. I wish to particularly recognize and welcome the PEBEC national team, private business partners, representative of the SEBA PEBEC implementation, MDB, to this meeting. This gathering is is more than just another event. It is part of our large, purposeful journey towards strengthening our economy by supporting businesses and improving how government works to benefit the citizens. I therefore want to thank the federal government and the leadership of PEBEC for bringing this program to Katsina. This gesture shows the seriousness to which we can face the task of creating a better environment for businesses to thrive. We, the good people of Katsina State, have for long understood that the private sector is the real engine for economic development. We recognize the role of organized private sector in creating jobs, strong, self-reliant economy. We also know the role of government in creating the enabling environment for business, especially small, medium enterprise to operate and succeed. As government, therefore, we first begin the journey by strengthening leadership around the ease of doing business. That's why government took the decision of appointing me to head the Committee on Ease of Doing Business. and other SMEs Council to demonstrate government commitment and priority in the development of private sector. We immediately restructured the business framework and created the Katsina State Enterprise Development Agency to lead and support startups, nano, small, and medium businesses with the tools, resources, and the capacity needed to flourish and grow. The government then strengthened the functionality of private partnership strategies within the Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency. This is in order to have a clear and sustainable structure that will work hand in hand with the private sector on projects that benefits our people directly. We have also made significant changes within the public service with the aim of making government more efficient, more transparent, and more responsive to the needs of our citizens, and the private sector inclusive. I'm happy to notify you that these endeavors have helped us to reduce unnecessary delays and bottlenecks in accessing business support services and promoting the growth of SMEs in the state. The establishment of the Katsina State Exploration and Mining Company has, on the other part, helped us to tap into our solid mineral resources and brought in more private sector participation. By creating the Katsina State Development Management Board, the state has achieved better coordination and monitoring of projects across the state. That is why it is on record that this government is visible in all the 361 wards across the 34 local government of the state. We are now more organized, focused, and accountable to the good people of Katsina State. With KAGIS, which is the Katsina State Geographic Information Service, we have reformed and simplified the process of obtaining certificate of occupancy. This can be done within a very short period of time, depending on meeting all the requirements that are needed to process same. Every step of the process is transparent and clearly communicated to the applicants. This is the kind of reform build trust and make it easier for citizens and businesses to invest in property and grow their ventures profitably. Agriculture, of course, is the backbone of our economy. We are working hand in hand to strengthen the private sector too. Our agricultural revolution in the state include the establishment of mechanization centers in all the 34 local government areas of the state. Right here in the capital, we have established a tractor assembling plant with a pilot plan of assembling 4,000 tractors to be distributed to all the local government areas for hiring and leasing to farmers in order to boost food production and boost the state economy ultimately. Interestingly, we have started supplying these tractors to the local government areas, and I think by now it has gone to all the local government areas. In Nigeria, the unstable supply of reliable power and energy remains one of the major challenges facing businesses, particularly the micro, small, and medium enterprises. To address this challenge, the Katsina State government, in partnership with the federal government, is trying to retrieve the moribund Lambarini wind farm energy. Once this project is fully resuscitated, it will significantly improve the sustainability and availability of electricity across the state. Ease SMEs operations, boost productivity, reduce operational costs, and enhance the overall competitiveness of enterprises in Katsina State, thereby making them much more profitable than they are today. On the SEBA reform state agenda, action for business enabling environment, the state is fully on board with all its requirements receiving prompt attention. Our commitment goes beyond issuing executive orders and the regulations. Committees have been set up of senior technical officers have been constituted, while a public administration reform office has been established and a special advisor with deep experience appointed to drive reforms across government ministries, departments, and agencies. Let me point out here that the state, under the leadership of His Excellency, has made significant progress across the implementation parameters of SEBA. Our expectation at this meeting are to garner more knowledge, implementation skills, and partnership strategies that will enable us to improve our performances. I therefore urge you to contribute positively towards making this engagement a huge success. With this, I declare this meeting open, and I wish you fruitful deliberations throughout the session. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone.
All right, thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, for that inspiring declaration and your continued leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, with the workshop now officially open, we will proceed to take a group photograph to capture this significant moment. And I would like to, I kindly invite His Excellency, our all dignitaries that are here, partners and resource persons, and some invited special guests for a official photograph. Thank you, sir. You may proceed for a photo session. Where are the photographers, please? Photographers, where are you? A time for a photo group. Thank you, sir. You may lead. Only just in high table, please. Is that all? All right, thank you, Your Excellency. And I think it is all over. We really appreciate your presence and declaration, Your Excellency, sir. And now the last of it is a technical session, which is a panel discussion, and will be discussed later after your departure. Thank you, sir.
Daga kuna dirka faran kalawal jobe da fadar ka gaishe ka faran kalawal jobe sani sahun mawakanka faran kalawal jobe na kasance a masoyanka faran kalawal jobe mai salla ne naka faran kalawal jobe da gwarzon masoyinka faran kalawal jobe wannan ta yi albarka faran kalawal jobe da zare ake saka faran kalawal jobe wasu sai su kai shuka faran kalawal jobe bana sai zuwa makka faran kalawal jobe sarki zai min silar waka faran kalawal jobe ko koyari madandanka faran kalawal jobe Muhammadu wallahi an san ka faran kalawal jobe an sarki kowa zan zo ni inganka alhamdulillah yanzu ka sanna mun kare sarki
All right, thank you. Taking is the last item of the day. It is a panel discussion of how many minutes, sir? 7 minutes. Huh. All right, thank you all. We may be seated. And the last of it is panel discussion. I'd like to invite my special brother, my co-uncle of the day, Dr. Jafar Shaibu, a reform leader, to invite the panelists and to proceed with the moderation. And I think it is all day event. This is very hectic. This is very hectic indeed. Well done to our team of MPS Media, and also our Dix Jockey of the day, sound engineer DG Solari, and all other gentlemen of the press from KTTV. We really appreciate your steadfastness and agility in doing what you know best. The last of it is the panel discussion. And after their return, we will invite them to join us in the panel discussion. And our moderator is Jafar Shaibu, a reform leader. You may take over from me so that you can invite your guest. So let's be back and have a seat, please, so that we can proceed with this. It is the last of it. Thank you. It's a final discussion of just 10 to 15 minutes. It's a panel discussion, please, of 10 to 15 minutes. Don Allah kowa ya zauna kafin mu rufe yanzu nan. Don Allah kowa ya zauna. Don Allah kowa ya zauna. Thank you all. Our able moderator is ever ready to host. He is the day MC, the day presenter, and the day moderator. You have 3 caps. Thank you and well done. Don Allah participant din mu gaba ɗaya mu zauna don mu ci gaba shine karshen abin da zamu yi yanzu wannan insha Allah saboda mu takaita saboda lokaci. Okay, you may have, it is a forum for each and everyone to ask question to contribute after the panel discussion. And this is going to be very critical indeed. All right, Malam Jafar Shaibu, take over. Thank you. An interlude DJ. Participant, let's be seated, please. Participant, all the participants, please. Let's be seated, please. Okay.
Thank you so much, MC Bahaushi, for yet another opportunity to be with you. Once again, my name is Jafar Shuaibu from Pebek, and without much ado, I will just proceed with introduction of the panelists. I have the director from my list, Director Commerce, Ministry of Commerce. I would like to invite the Director of Commerce from the Ministry of Commerce, please. You should proceed to assume your seats. And the General Management, URPB. General Management URPB. Please, if you are here, Minister, please go ahead to assume your seat. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. Please give a round of applause, please. Then I know you are very exhausted, very sure of that. We'll make it snappy as much as possible. Then we have the Director General, KIPA, our host, Director General KIPA. Please, if you are here, assume your seat. Then we are inviting the Director Deeds, Ministry of Lands. Director Deeds, Ministry of Land. We are also inviting the Director Investment, Katsina. Director Investment, Katsina. Please, if you are here, you should assume your seat. I also like to invite the Director General, the Director of Revenue, IRS, Inland Revenue Service. Please, if you are here, you should please assume your seat. Director Revenue, IRS. I would also like to invite the last but not the least, Director Energy, Department of Power and Energy. I would also like to invite the Director Energy, Department of Power and Energy. Okay. Please, I have an announcement. Someone has misplaced his reading glasses. If you have the opportunity of seeing it, please, you should pass it forward for the owner to have it back. Someone lost his reading glasses. If you are fortunate to see it, you can pass it forward for the owner to have it back. Thank you. So the only person that, or the only people that we are yet to have on the panel are the two representatives of two agencies, and I would like to proceed without, so that when we start, they can join us. They are free to join us when we commence the session. So, can I assume this seat? All right. You don't have to be alone. Just follow the star that leads to a door. You can call my heart your home. Girl, you should know. That's it, yeah. Sorry. So, thank you so much. I would like to proceed with our first question, and this question is on reform implementation and service delivery, and it goes to the representative of Ministry of Commerce and other related agencies. Sir, what specific reforms have your agency implemented in the last 2 years to improve ease of doing business? For example, automation of services, reduction of cost and steps, or creation of help desks for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Please, who will help me with that? Galahu, MC, please, who might help me with that? Okay, Abashi Dala.
Ladies and gentlemen, Good afternoon. The reforms that the Ministry of Commerce were able to implement are the introduction of modified and simple business premises registration guidelines. That is number one. Number two, the introduction of grievance redress panel or the introduction of grievance redress mechanism. That is number two. And the Ministry of Commerce were able to settle so many disputes between traders, cross-border traders, and regulatory agencies through town hall meetings, sensitization campaign, and public enlightenment about the use of cross-border trade, because most of our regulatory agencies consider cross-border trade or traders as illegal businesses in the state. And another achievement is the upgrading of zonal commercial officers to business development service providers. Before, DCOs, that is the Division of Commercial Officers, were seen as just revenue collectors. But now, another responsibilities were attached to them to serve in their respective zones or division as business development service providers. And the service level agreement too, where there is commitment between the ministry and the taxpayers. Those that are demanding registration of business premises certificate, there are laid down agreement whereby if from the side of the ministry or official of the ministry fails, then they have the right to take the matter up to the higher authority within the ministry. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that answer. From his explanation, it is very important to note that there are some introductions or reforms provided by Katsina State that have to do with simplified and modified business registration guidelines and issue of GRM, where if you have any concern, you'll be able to reach out for your problem to be solved. And also SLA, where there is a particular timeline for service delivery. Thank you so much for that. Then the next question goes to the representative of the URPD. This is on transparency, access to information, and public interface. Sir, what formal or informal feedback mechanisms does your agency have in place to receive complaints or suggestions from businesses, like grievance decks, email channels, social media platforms, or service rating system? Please pass or yes.
Sir, I didn't hear the question well, because you say you are the PP or KIPA or whatever.
URPB.
Okay.
Okay. So my question is on transparency, access to information, and public interface. What formal or informal feedback mechanisms does your agency have in place to receive complaints or suggestions from businesses, like grievance dexes, email channels, social media platforms, or service rating systems? Where does the platform that you receive complaints from taxpayers or citizens as far as your agency is concerned? That's what I mean.
Okay. Jama, assalamu alaikum. My name is Town Planner Buharamani, Acting Director Town Planning, representing Katsina State Urban and Regional Planning Board. We give the public able right to write complaint to us. I think on daily basis we receive so many complaints, written and verbal, through our board, and we perfectly respond to them. Also, we have our portal there. It's open through email and other things that people use to write complaints through us, and actually we attend to we attend to them. We also present ourselves to radio and televisions for media chat and other programs, live or coverage that we normally have. We normally receive complaints from public, and wherever you see our staff there, because we are the only organization that normally have our staff go around whatever corners of the state. We have tricycles, we have those that with helios and other things, usually just to receive complaint and attend to that complaint. So this is how we normally attend to public complaints, both formal and informal. But the main channels we normally receive, that is daily, is through written complaint. That is it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir, as a follow-up question, do you have a dedicated number that you can be called by any citizen or a business owner where he has complained against any person for the services that your agency render? Do you have any dedicated number?
We have numbers. Recently, we are like doing like we are giving notices to people to come and like pay their registration tenants, tenement fees for senate and senators and billboards and all these things. So through these letters, we place our numbers. You either call us, text to us, or through email messages. We even put them there so that you can easily communicate to us. So whatever you have complained there, people know it, especially those that have been given our letters. So they normally channel their complaints through us. We have WhatsApp, we have text written, we have verbal communication that you communicate to us.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So now you know that if you have any complaint that has to do with...
Oh, I should call it now.
Please call it, because it is for the public to know, they are entitled to know. If they have any complaint, they'll be able to call that number.
The landline
for
is
solution.
080 3679 9940. So at every moment...
Please call it again.
080
yes.
3679 9940. So through WhatsApp or text message or even calling, we can answer you and attend the complaint attentively.
Thank you so much for that. And the next question goes to our hosts, the Director General KIPA. This question is on interagency collaboration and one government approach. Sir, how does your agency work with other MDAs to streamline processes that involve multiple approvals or agencies, like land approval and tax clearance, or one-stop shop coordination?
Thank you very much. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for talking to you. Katsina State Investment Promotion Agency, as an agency that has the responsibility to attract and bring investors and formulate policies, programs that relates to investment roadmap in Katsina State, as well as an agency that has to do with framework for public partnership, has since inception introduced major ways of dealing with other ministries, agencies, and including federal agencies as well. Why? Because we are not mindful of the fact that when you want to invest anywhere, your first step is to approach investment promotion agency. Now, how do we communicate to other agencies, ministries? Since inception, in every ministries, we have like a focal person similar to what SEBA is doing now. Why? Because we try to create a little, not necessarily a barrier as we can call it, but to make sure any investor that has come or anybody that has an inquiry that has come to do business in Katsina, we sit him with us and follow up with our focal person and then follow us ourselves to make sure we have gotten him what he requires to do business. Why we do that is to kind of create a semi one-stop shop. We speak, we understand, we have internalized the language of a businessman. We know his pain points, and we regularly organized talk shops, capacity buildings, interactive sessions with stakeholders across the states. So that gives us an advantage. But now, the major reform that we have introduced that private sector needs to utilize is the investment incentives. The investment incentive for the state, not necessarily for the federal government. The federal government incentives too is always there. That is, so we have merged the two in our websites, and we have done several occasions distributed those investment incentives, but yet most of enterprises are not taking advantage of that investment incentives, and it's a very good investment incentives. Anybody that log onto our website is there being published, or else you can approach our states. And I remember to the last engagement we have in November with FEVEC, we have printed all the licenses, regulations, and permits within the state, and we distribute to all the private sector for them to be able to take advantage of those new policies and programs. Now, the other innovation or reform we have introduced, as you can hear His Excellency the Deputy Governor said, that there is a comprehensive framework for public-private partnership. So our domestic investors, manufacturers, and other things can now come conveniently to partner with the Katsina State. We normally provide technical assistance, professional advices to any agencies that is initiating a public partnership arrangement with anybody across the state or from anywhere. So, gentlemen, aside that, we champion the entire reform system that SEBA has introduced and the ease of doing business is handling. So all these reforms that is taking place across the MDAs of the Katsina states, we coordinate, not necessarily beyond coordination. Sometimes we partake in formulating those policies and procedure. Why? Because we have understand how business need to be improved. We have understand why ease of doing business has to be done. If that is not done, our agency will not be able to discharge its responsibility. So SEBA ease of doing business is all aiming towards identifying, simplifying, and clarifying the bottlenecks that exist across the MDAs. Again, other reforms that you can see today, during our engagement, you must have seen the police officers. Some of them have not wear uniform, but they were here. And the custom officers too were here. And we're undertaking a lot of capacity building together with them for people to understand. Yes, recently we have introduced another innovation that revolves around the DLI 6 that has to do with export promotion and regional trade. Currently, we are working with about 11 companies, and then we are mentoring about 3 companies too that are ready for export of sesame and soybeans. Now, the other innovation or reforms that we are doing now, we have started aftercare services. We have identified some of the major companies that exist in Katsina, and we are having meetings with them to see how we can retain. Some of them are even moribund, how we can restart them. Additionally, we have also introduced synergy with other federal agencies that exist in Katsina State, like I have said in my speech, the Standard Organization, the NABDAC, all those that have certification issued to provide to businesses. So in a nutshell, this is what we have been doing, but I know we have said so much around it. I wish all these lectures should have been in Hausa so that our businessmen should internalize and understand how we do all this that run across all the ministries and parastatal. But maybe in future we have to do that to localize it. Thank you so much.
Sir, in 2 minutes, in 2 minutes in Hausa, could you please provide some relevant explanation for our audience who do not understand?
Jama'a assalamu alaikum. Kusan dai duk abin da muke ta magana yau tun da safe shine irin canje-canjen da aka yi waɗanda yawancinsu ba a gani in ba kana yin kasuwancin ba na zahiri. Kuma ko da kana yin kasuwanci na zahiri sai in ka ɗan daure ka ɗan shiga ma'aikatunmu waɗanda su sauye-sauyen da ake kawowa waɗansu sauye-sauye ne wanda za ka ga cewa kamar ba kuɗi aka baka ba, to amma kuma su sun mafi kuɗin muhimmanci tunda takardu ne na lasi, waɗansu takardu ne waɗanda in ba da su ba za ka ƙetare wani wuri ba, ba za ka iya shiga wani wuri kai kasuwanci ba. Misali kamar yadda muka faɗa, idan za ka so ma kasuwanci kana buƙatar ka kafa kamfani. Ɗazu da sahi mun yi magana cewa ni a ma'aikata ta sai da muka yi ma mutane waɗanda suke so su yi kamfani kyauta muka biya musu 17,700 su 6,606 a nan jihar Katsina. Wannan kenan. Idan ka tafi yanzu kamar yadda mai magana ya magana Ministry of Commerce, duk in dai kana kasuwanci to za ka nemi wannan certificate da suke ce business premises, ya kamata a ce kana biyan wani ɗan 'yan kuɗaɗe kaɗan. To su ɗin kansu yanzu za ka iya shiga manhajar ta website sai ka zo wurin da suke ba ka cika ka kuma biya kuɗin da za ka biya kuma su ansa maka. Haka su ma a original planning, in dai za ka yi gini kana buƙatar a baka abin da ake ce ma building permit. Building permit ɗin yana bisa website ɗinsu. A da kafin wannan idan ka je ka iya zuwa wurin mutum ɗaya ba ka ce mashi da me kake so ka kawo, amma yanzu in ka shiga website ɗinsu ma za ka ga abin da duk kake bukata, so kafin ka je ma za ka je da su. Kannan kamar yadda na ga yana baka lamba, kai ɗaukar lamba su za ka iya shiga kai magana da su kuma za su ansa maka. Kuma kowace ma'aikata ma da muke wannan abin da su suna da telefon suna ansa wa mutane. Idan ka je yanzu kamar inda za ka yi rajista ka zama dan kwangila a jihar Katsina, da ka shiga website ɗin za ka ga form ɗin yana nan, za ka hito da shi, za ka cika, za ka maida, za su ansa maka, za ka biya kuɗin nan take, ba sai ka hito ba ka sha wahalar biyan kuɗin mota da sauransu. Idan ka zo water board su ma wajen water board connection fees da ake yi din nan, su ma in ka shiga cikin website ɗinsu za ka ga form, za ka cika, za ka ga procedures. Abinda ma ya wuce wannan akwai abinda muke ce ma service level agreement, wato wani kaman yarjejeniya ne da kai da kake son a baka wannan abin da kake nema din za ka duba ka karanta ga cewa cikin kwana 5 ko kwana 6 ko wata 1 a baka wannan abin. Idan ba a baka ba kuma za ka iya yin complain kuma dole an sa maka. Idan ba an sa maka kuma akwai matakai da za ka bi ka tabbatar da cewa an yi kuma dole za a yi tunda an riga an yi yarjejeniya tsakanin wannan ma'aikatu da wannan kastomomi. Haka su ma mutanen internal revenue services kamar masu son su yi ma motocinsu lamba da sauransu za su iya daga gidajensu in suna so. Shi ma an shiga ciki a website din da sauransu, ba ma wannan ba duka tsana ma in dai kana so ma ka biya haraji da sauransu ba sai ka fito ba, daga website za ka biya kuma za a baka rasidi kuma za a yi maka da abin da kake so, za ka yi downloading din shi. So Katsina ta jiya da ta shekaran jiya ta dan canza da dama, so al'umma mu ma nan sai mun dan canza mun dan gara dan mu hau bisa inda ake hawa yanda duk kasashe suke hawa. So canje-canjen kamar da nake faɗa mu a wurinmu kuma akwai sauƙaƙan abubuwa da muka kawo da yawa wanda ake cewa incentives yana nan bisa website mu da yawa ba a nema ma, saboda me yasa za ka ga mutane in za su tafi suna neman su hudda da Katsina ta harkar kasuwanci musamman ta investment sai su ta falauniya suna yawo busan inda za su je ba, a sa su hanya a ɗora su gara su tafi dandanan su samu abin da za su samu. So abubuwan suna nan da yawa, amma dai ina ga Malam Jafar na gode kwarai da ka bani wannan dama, amma dai nan gaba kaɗan za mu fito da tsare-tsare da za mu tabbatar da cewa waɗannan bayanai da manhaja da sauransu da muke yi sun samu shiga. Misali Malam Jafar kamar abin da kake na kotun nan, akwai kotu ta 'yan kasuwa da gwamnatin jihar Katsina ta kafa, kuma shi wannan shari'ar ta da yadda take yin aikace-aikacenta ba irin na sauran kotuna ba ne wanda za ka je ka ci ba ka ci ba ka ci ba. Wannan abin da ake sasanci ake yi, kuma ko da shari'ar ta dawo an ba wannan hukuma dama, akwai doka akwai komai cewa duk yadda za a yi shari'a kada ta wuce kwana 60. Dan da zama na Jafar yana cewa ba mu da kyasa-kyasai da yawa, to ai ka san mu dama ka tsana ba ma kyasa-kyasai, dama mu 'yan zaman lafiya ne, amma dai in ta ɓaci akwai kotu mai sauki wadda za a yi. Na ma faɗa ne ma a cikin bayanai na ɗazu na ce za ma mu buɗe wata a cikin kasuwar Katsina da ta kasuwar Funtuwa, yanzu muna da guda 3 a nan jihar akwai ɗaya, a Daura akwai wata da sauransu. So ita ma wannan an yi ne domin mutanenmu yawanci za ka ga duk wanda ya kai ka ƙara to daga nan fa har jikoki sai an aje wannan lamba wanda ya kai na ƙara. To ita wannan kotun ta sasanci ce kuma ta 'yan kasuwa ce, ana kare mutunci da martaba al'umma in suka shiga kasuwai. Su alƙalan da kansu suna da horo na musamman domin su tafiyar da wannan aikin. Salamu alaikum Malam Jafar.
Thank you so much, our host, the DG KIPA. Please give a round of applause. Ku taba mishi da Allah. Na tabbata kun fahimci abubuwan da ya faɗa. Na dai san kun ci abinci ko kuma ba ku ci abinci ba, akwai abinci a gaban ku. Ina so ku ƙara tafa mishi da Allah saboda bayanin nan dai. Thank you so much, the DG KIPA, for that explanation. And I'm very sure that you are aware of the pending certificates that are with his agency and which were done free of charge at no cost from the citizens of Kaduna State. And there are other, like over 1,000 certificates. If you know that you are among the applicants, please, you should go to the agency and collect your certificates at no cost. At no cost. Thank you so much for that. The next question goes to the representative of land and physical planning. This is on untapped opportunities and underutilized reforms. Sir, what reforms or services have your agency introduced that are still underutilized by the business community, like simplified registration processes, fee waivers, digital portals, micro, small, and medium-sized support programs?
Repeat the question, please.
Okay. So I say, what reforms or services have your agency introduced that are still underutilized by the business community, like simplified registration processes, fee waivers, digital portals, micro, small, and medium-sized support programs.
Assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah. This morning we've been talking about Kajis. Kajis come on board as a result of the complaint that we've been receiving from people. The land administration in Katsina State, like in many parts of the country, is archaic, is manual, is bureaucratic, characterized by a number of bottlenecks here and there. And that is why Kajis is introduced to address these lapses. One of the things that we do at Kajis is we change our certificate of occupancy from the one that is manually produced to a digitized certificate of occupancy. And in response to investors' feedback as regard to the services we are providing, which they are not satisfied, we've been able to modify our land transaction processes, particularly on the issue of land acquisition and transfer. Where, for instance, if you take land allocation, in the past, the approach has been that of Father Christmas, whereby land is allocated virtually not based on need, but probably based on the connection that you have with the corridors of power. We have complained from developers that they are real developers, but unfortunately they are not being considered when it comes to land allocation. Now, to address that problem, what we do is to come up with a policy whereby instead of giving a right of occupancy, we now give approval of development to the developers. That is where we give the right for developer to develop the land, to either own and operate the land, or to develop and transfer the land. If it is in the case of land, if it is the case of an allocation which is on the basis of develop and own the land, we issue you certificate of occupancy after that development has been completed to its logical conclusion. Now, if it is in the case of develop and transfer to off-takers, we are not going to give you any right of occupancy. Like I've said, what we give is the right to develop the land. If you develop the land, you pass it over to the off-takers. It is the off-takers that now will be finally issued with certificate of occupancy. Now, as a model, we are practicing that in a village that we have created, which is located along GBR Road, where about 250 hectares of land is designed and allocated to various land developers for various purposes. I think prominent among such developers is Nabara. Nabara Estates is something. There are a number of them, but I will not be able to give their name here. And there is also an issue of modification of land instrumentation and registration. Prominent among this is land swap, whereby government through PPP, that is private partnership, there are certain government offices that have been built many, many years back, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. At the time those offices were built, they were meant to serve administrative purposes. But over time, they are no longer suitable for administration purpose, okay? Because of what we call land something. Those places have now become more viable for commercial activities rather than administrative purpose, particularly along IBB Way, which is the commercial, give me that word, which is the business district of Katsina State. Now, under land swap, what we do is we enter into an agreement with businessmen. We give them this land that are no longer suitable for administrative purpose, but viable for commercial activities, in exchange of a land that will be given to them to build an office and hand over to the state government. A good example is the office that is being currently occupied by KAGIS, Katsina State Geographic Information Services. That office is acquired by the government through this land swap. It's an agreement between Katsina State government and one businessman called Al-Musik. Al-Musik was given a portion here within the secretariat. He built that land and handed over it to the state government, and in exchange for it, one of the government properties that is situated along IBB Way, which is no longer suitable for administrative purpose, is now given to Al-Musik in exchange of the office he has built for the government. And there is also the issue of, there are a number of these issues. For instance, even when it comes to assignment, okay, we have simplified the process of getting approval of assignment in the interest of land developers. Those land developers that buy parcel of land, subdivide them, and allocate to various allocations. One of the problems they are having is that they are normally given only approval for subdivision without that of assignment to the potential beneficiaries of those subdivided portions. So they often find it very difficult to sell these parcels of land to these people who want to purchase this subdivided land. So what we do now, what we do now is, in the course of giving them approval for subdivision, we do not only give them approval for subdivision, but we give them approval for subdivision as well. I mean, approval for assignment as well. But this time we call it blanket assignment. Okay, instead of just giving maybe assignment to individuals, maybe there are over 40 plots, each person coming to the office together, we just give them blanket assignment with the agreement that the beneficiaries of those allocated plots will be responsible for the payment of assignment fees over their respective plots. What the investors want is that approval. Now, with that approval, they will be able to sell their plots very, very easily without much difficulty. And another thing is the issue of mortgage, for instance. There are some instead of re-grant, we give them approval for extension of residue of terms. For instance, you are making your application this year, 2024, and the right granted to you is going to expire by the year 2026, and the response to the demand of land developers.
Thank you for that elaborate explanation on